organizer is someone who brings people together.
You try to set up an organization that gives people the power to make the changes. I set up a fairly solid organization of rural people from Pike County to stop Bethlehem Steel from strip mining. You know, I had to tell people again and again that they had the stuff to do the job, that it was possible to win. You see, deep down, most people didn't believe we could stop Bethlehem. But all people in Pike County really wanted was a park, just a place for their kids. And Bethlehem? Bethlehem said, "Go to hell, we're not giving you a damn thing." So, I got 20, 30 people together that I saw as leaders, and I said,
Let's get that park.
but they said we can't. So I said,
Yes, we can.
So we got enough people together. We wrote letters, we protested, until we finally got on TV. And Bethlehem? Bethlehem caved.
A couple months later, 4,000 people from Pike County drove up to watch the bulldozers grade down the land to make that park.
People have become convinced that there's not a damn thing they can do. But I think we have it inside us to change things. I mean, all human recorded history is, what, 5,000 years old? How many people during that time have made an overwhelming difference? 20? 30? You see, that's the problem with history. It's written by college professors about great men. But that's not what history is. History? History is a hell of a lot of little people. Men and women just like you and me, coming together and deciding they want a better life.
I could have been, I could have been, I could have been something.
I wanted to be a writer.
Major League Baseball player.
Or the little farm.
What I could be had been left to me, I would have been something.
Then I got married.
Then the kids came along. My dad took sick.
Tower of strength, center of power.
At $10 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. I was gonna work for a few years, buy me a car, head west. But then I met the wife. That kind of changed my plans. You never know what you would have did.
I could have done what I could have done. I could have done big things.
With some luck to do what I wanted to, I could have done big things.
Swim a few rivers, climb a few hills, paid all my bills,
Now it's just dreams that I'm stuck with.
and hell that ain't a lot to show.
I haven't gone far from the starting line.
But deep down inside, where
artist. Sit there with half a mind and one eye on the clock.
All I'm looking forward to now is getting home, taking off an cold can of beer.
Putting my feet up in front of the idiot box.
When that whistle blows, you get a lot of guys want to sit around and talk. I just want to get out of here.
It's a pretty good day laying stone. You get interested in what you're doing, and you usually fight the clock the other way. You're not looking for quit. You're wondering, you haven't got enough work done, and it's almost quitting time. There's not a house in this country I haven't built that I don't look at every time I go by. And if there's one stone crooked, I still notice it. The people that live there might not notice it, but I notice it. Stone's my business. Stone's my life. He built a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands. It stands where nothing stood. A house of stone. The mason sleeps real good. He does his work. His workday flies. Quitting time's a big surprise. There's always one more stone to get just right. It's always one more stone before the night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, it's not just making money and counting off the days. I daydream all the time about stone. One day, I'm gonna build me a stone cabin down the Green River. I'm gonna have stone cabinets in the kitchen, everything's stone. Stone front door. That's gonna be very heavy. All my dreams, it seems like they have a piece of rock mixed up in them. He builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands. It tells you who he was. The life goes fast, but the work a mason does, it's made to last. But the work a mason does. There's nothing on this earth that's gonna last forever. But with stone, you're getting pretty close. It's made to last.
I can't relax. Because when you ask a guy who's 58 years old, what does a press agent do? Forcing me to look back, see what a fakakta life I've had. My hopes, my aspirations, what I did with them, what being a press agent does to you, what I wound up with. A room full of clippings, a case of colitis. But you know what's been my main problem? The inability to say no. The insistence on being a part of everything. The fear you're going to miss something. One psychiatrist said to me, "A guy with one ass can't ride two horses." Being a publicity man is a confession of weakness. It's for those who don't have the guts to grab attention for themselves. In this business, you don't build anything. If I had a little mom and pop shop and I could build it up into a bigger store, I'd sell it for $1 million. Who do I sell my clippings to?
Lords, what's exciting at the bar I can offer? It would be boring if I had to say, would you like a cocktail? Over and over. So I come out different for my own enjoyment. I say, what's exciting at the bar I can offer, my lords? Or something. Maybe with cocktails, I give them a little philosophy. They have coffee, I give them political science. I have an opinion on every single subject there is. My bosses don't like it, so I have to speak sotto voce. But if I get heated, I don't give a damn. I speak like an Italian speaks. I have to be a waitress. How else does the world come to me? Everyone wants to eat. Everyone has hunger. And I serve them. I give service. I can't be servile. There's a difference. I get intoxicated with giving service. It becomes theatrical and I feel like Mata Hari, and it intoxicates me. I'm on stage. There's some as don't care when they put down a plate. There's a sound, not with me. When they move a chair, it'll scrape with a grate on the ground, not with me. I will have my hand right when I place a glass. Notice how I stand right when customers pass. Serve a demi-tasse with a gesture so gentle, or do it again till it's near Oriental. La da 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 da. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that I pleasure each guest. There's a twist to my wrist when I bring your steak in, and watch how I take in your liver and bacon. It all will be stylish and smart. That's what makes it an art. I remember one day, as I do now and then, I had shakes. Down I went. There with my tray full of coffees and cordials and cakes. Down I went. But I kept my poise, not one guest heard me fall. Never made a noise, not one noise, food and all. If you have to crawl, you give them what they like. You carry your tray like it's almost ballet-like. La da 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 da. It's an art to be a fine waitress. Each evening I treasure the test. Like tonight was a fight when they hired this busboy, this clothes all a muss boy, and guess heard him cuss boy. Did we have a quick heart to art? Even that was an art. Tips? Ha! Tips are important for people like captains and barmen. For them, it's a tipsy. For me, I'm a gypsy. Just toss me a coin and I suddenly feel like I'm Carmen. So on through the ulcer, the backaches, the hot sweaty feet. On you go. Through is your knife dulcer, and madam wants what with her meat? On you go. 2 a.m. approaches, the curtains descend. There among the roaches, my axe at an end. Every night I tend to find myself crying. There's no work so trying or so satisfying. I tell everyone I'm a waitress, and I'm proud when somebody says to me, "Hey, you're terrific. How come you're just a waitress?" You know what I tell them? I say, "Why? Don't you think you deserve to be served by me?" It's an art 16 years here, I went on a trip to Hawaii for 2 weeks. Went with my lover. My kid sister says, act your age. I said, honey, if I were acting my age, I wouldn't be walking. Not after 16 years at this job.
I worked for them 16 years, and overnight they let half of us go. It's now known as Black Thursday. They told us to clear out. Leave. That's all. No goodbyes. One guy broke down and cried right there. What did I do? Please don't do this to me. I've done a great job. My daughter's getting married next month. How am I going to face people? All of a sudden, nobody calls. You go out, start visiting friends, but they're all busy with their own work. They don't have time for you. This is a psychological. I don't want to get into it.
It was a year ago November, and I'm still looking. But you just have to fight your own way, which I've done my whole life.
Don't get me wrong. In this economy, I'm lucky to have any work at all. But after so many years, I just wish I knew what it felt like not to have to go to work.
When I retired, in the first 2 years I was downhearted. I had no place to go, nothing to do, but then I gave myself a good going over. Joe, I said, you can't sit at home like that and waste your time. You gotta get up, do things. Well, the days go pretty fast for me now. I don't daydream at all. I just think of something and I forget it. That daydreams don't do no good. Gotta keep busy, keep moving. That's the trick.
You wake at 10, fold up the bed. You don't want to leave your couch open all day, you know, it's depressing. You cook an egg, you toast some bread. If you don't keep track of your money, who will? You think about the day ahead. You don't go feeling sorry for yourself. It's like I said, you can sit at home and be mad at the world, or you can get up, do things. You take a walk, you meet a chum. This one guy, he lives down by National Biscuit. You should see the nice aroma. You shoot the bull, you argue some, and maybe he calls up a couple other fellows to come over, play some poker. You lose at gin until they come. This guy remembers what cards you picked up. The dirty bum. But even getting beat at gin beats doing nothing. You take a bus, you take a train, you go and you visit your wife's grave. On the way you read the Reader's Digest. It does you good to use your brain, or maybe you go and you see your cousin. You bring a six-pack along. You take a stroll down memory lane. When we were young, we was always together. And raising Cain, we go back a long ways, him and me. All the times we've had. I remember once, back in '62, we were at this fair with these girls we knew on this crazy ride where you screamed or you prayed. The Big Dipper, they called it.
We could hardly walk as we left the car, so we staggered down for a candy bar. Then we sat and laughed in the penny arcade. At 6 o'clock, you watch the news. Then politicians get you so mad you throw your slippers at the set. You cook some franks, no big to-dos. Most nights you lay around, straighten up. Maybe you call your daughter. You watch a game, you take a snooze, but then there's Sunday. Sunday's different. You change your shirt and shine your shoes, because you're going round the block to the tavern. You drink some pool, you drink some beer. Don't have to drink a lot to have a good time, maybe 3, 4 in an evening. You find a pal, you bend his ear. You meet a lot of your old crowd there Sundays. Sometimes a bunch of you sing the kind of song you never hear, like Stardust or In the Mood. And then you cheer. Last Sunday night we sang Till We Meet Again. Believe it or not, I once did a waltz to that tune. Honest to God. I remember once I was 17 and the girl was like from a magazine, and the lights were low, and I really mean low. I think a couple of my friends had something to do with that. And I kissed her cheek as we waltzed away. I remember that like it's yesterday. Boy, was she surprised. I can hear her say, Joe. They drive you home from round the block. You take your cash out of your sock. You fix the bed, you check the lock. You wind the clock. When I retired, a lot of people told me, Joe, you've got your health, you shouldn't have done it. But it was too late. I don't know why I retired, it's just a habit, I guess. But I got no regrets. I keep busy, keep traveling. I go to fires every once in a while. That fire we had on Milwaukee Avenue about 3 months ago, I was there. I was surprised. You see the smoke coming out of there, heavy as hell, but you don't see no flames, you know. Boy, that was some fire.
You go in there and it's dark. Smoke's pouring out of the goddamn building. It all happens really fast. I feel a tremendous heat to my left. I look over and the whole fucking room is orange and yellow. The lieutenant and the other firemen got the ladder up and saved 2 people. Downstairs, there was a guy trying to get out the front door. It had bolts on the door. He was burnt dead. You know what the lead man said?
We lost a guy. Shit. We lost a guy.
Yeah, but you saved 2 people. How could you know there was a guy sleeping on the pool table?
Yeah. But we lost a guy.
I always wanted to be a fireman. It's just like being a kid. Guys in their 40s still feel like kids inside. Except they're starting to lose their hair. And they don't screw so much. I used to be a cop. You know why I switched to fireman? I liked people. And as a cop, sometimes I could just feel the hate coming into me. I remember this one time I was on the roof of this project. There was a black guy, about 6'7", at the top of the stairs. He had his back turned to me. I said, "Hey, turn around a second." He said, "Hold on." So I said, "Hey, turn around a second." He said, "Hold on." His elbows were moving around. It dawned on me. He had a gun caught in his belt, and he was trying to get it out. So I said, "Holy shit!" I drew my gun and I said, "You fucker, I'm gonna shoot!" Threw his hands up against the wall. He had his dick out. There was a girl cowering in the corner that I couldn't see. So here was this guy getting a hand job. And maybe a lot of guys would have shot him. But he started shaking, and the gun in my hand was shaking like a bastard. So I said, "Just get the hell out of here." So I took the fire department test in 98, and I got called in 99. You know, this fucking world's so fucked up. This country is fucked up. Firemen, you actually see them produce. You see them put out a fire. You see them come out with babies in their arms, or give mouth to mouth when a guy's dying. You can't get around that shit. That's real. I used to work in a bank. You know, you're just working with papers and numbers. It's not real. But firemen, that's real. Shows something I did on this earth.
She likes to play. She's only 5, but she can do it all. And today we took her scooter for a ride. You should have seen her glide, and I was terrified. I spent the afternoon just running by her side. The sun came down and then I brought her home. Her parents work late, I tuck her in each night. And I sing Mahal Kita, Mina Mahal Kita, Mahana Mahal Kita, till she's asleep. She says I love you, and I love her too. While I do all the work her mother doesn't do. I have a family of my own. I have a daughter back at home. I send whatever I can with no one I do what no one wants to do.
You know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to play piano. That's what I really wanted. And I'd write songs and things about my life growing up in the South and my mama, my grandmama. But now I got my own beautiful daughter. And I got plans for her. So I leave my house every morning, go scrub rooms up in the Marriott. And at night, I come here to this office, and it's scrubbing again. For generations, that's all we done, scrubbing. My grandmama, my mama, and me. But my daughter, she ain't gonna be doing no domestic work. I aim to be the end of that particular line. Mama worked just like her mama before her. Domestic working was their trade. They was laundress, cook, get a living, helpers, a girl, babysitter, and hotel maid. They worked 6 days a week, all day long, and never could get out of debt. Those were the days when a minimum wage was anything you could get. They were cleaning women without faces, coming and going on a first name basis. You're talking to somebody who knows. And after too many years, no, I don't wanna be in one laundry room. I don't wanna pick up another room one of these days. Just wanna sleep till noon. All day long I'm thinking my kids out in the streets somewhere, but the folks up in that room don't think you thinking half the time.
Always talking round you like you ain't even there. It's getting something to my mind.
Got a daughter with a head on her shoulders and pretty as a picture too. She ain't gonna hide that pretty face behind closed doors, scrubbing floors like her mama do. If my legs don't give out and my back hold up, I'm gonna make her a better day. You'll never see her get down on her knees unless she's down there to pray. No more.
From 4 generations of cleaning women. For my daughter, she's a whole new generation. That's what we got coming up today. A whole new generation.
My name is Ralph Warner. I'm 19 years old, and I ran this mutual fund for the students at my school. My father runs his own investment firm. I guess that's where I learned. He runs a hedge fund. You know, Those are the guys who are always getting caught defrauding their investors. We studied ethics at school, so I'm sure I won't have any problem. I'll be going to business school. Harvard. Naturally. What I'd really like to be is a professional golfer. But realistically, I'll probably be an entrepreneur. And then I'll start a family, of course. My quote, dream girl, unquote, has short red hair, doesn't have to wear a lot of makeup, because she is going to be naturally pretty. And I want her to have a lot of personality. Because when I'm 30 and we're moving up the ladder, there's going to have to be a lot more than just looks. At first, she'll probably be working, but after our first child, she'll stay home. And she'll be a good mother. I hope to have 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And I would like a colonial house. Possibly one that leans towards a Mediterranean style. And maybe it can even be backing right onto a golf course. So my wife and I can play golf whenever we want. I hope my wife can play golf.
My name is Charlie. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. So, I got recommended for this job in a newsroom on a Chicago paper. I went down to the paper and talked to the editor, told him how much I wanted to be a journalist. He liked me. At the time. Coming to work for me was a kind of missionary kind of thing. I was bringing organic walnuts and organic raisins and just giving them away to everybody. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritualistic mood. I was enjoying my job because I was answering phones most of the time. People would call up and complain or have a problem, and I'd say, this is a capitalist newspaper. And as long as it's a capitalist newspaper, it's not going to serve you because its purpose is to make money for its owner. And I'd tell them to call up the editor, come down and take over the paper. A lot of people responded really well to these suggestions. But the editor calls me into his office and he's like, blah, 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 blah. I wanted to take a baseball bat and smash his head in. I mean, he's a really nice person. I like him a lot. I don't know if I would get any pleasure from shooting him up with a 50 caliber machine gun and seeing his body splatter to pieces. But my fantasy all spring at the paper was getting a gun and shooting them. Or getting a gun, walking into the editor's office and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I've been thinking for months, what will I do when I get fired? I had to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than you motherfuckers. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I had to think fast. So I looked at the editor and I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're creating. Then I just turned and walked out and started to cry. And the editor, he hurried after me and he said, wait a minute, I'm not creating these conditions, you are. I said, no, I'm not the one who has the power, you're the one who has the power. Now I've got myself on unemployment. They were nice to me the first few times. Then this woman told me to get a number. I wanted to tell her, fuck you. I could wait outside your apartment, knock you over the head, and steal your money. But that's bitterness. I don't like being bitter. I'm a pacifist.
I heard a lot of songs say, "Where you going, my son?" Now I know they're for real. Boy, you never stop to think how fast the years run, or the things they steal. I remember you was 3.5. Your mom and me, we'd sit there after things got quieted. We'd laugh at some new word you said, how tough you were to get to bed, and we'd plan the night away, planning for our kid. I was your hero then. I couldn't do no wrong as far as you were concerned. You thought I was the best of men. Tables hadn't turned. You hadn't learned how little time it takes, and daddies make mistakes. Seems to me that lately I've been thinking a lot. Think about my dad. Lots of funny things come back I thought I'd forgot. Now they make me sad. High school and it used to be. I didn't want him touching me, and I shuddered if he did. Further back to summer nights, baseball games beneath the lights, and sleeping in the car. My daddy and his kid. He was my hero then. He couldn't do no wrong as far as I was concerned. I thought he was the wisest and the strongest and the best of men. The tables hadn't turned. I hadn't learned how little time it takes. And everybody breaks, and daddies make mistakes.
This may sound square, but my kid is my imprint. You know what I mean? This is why I work. Every time I see a smart young guy walking down the street dressed real sharp, I'm looking at my kid. You know what I want? I want my son to tell me he's not gonna be like me. I want him to look at me and say, "Dad, you're a nice guy. You're a fucking dummy." Hell yes. If you can't improve yourself, you improve your posterity. Otherwise, life isn't worth nothing. You might as well go back to the cave and stay there. I'm sure that the first caveman who went over the hill to see what was on the other side, I don't think he went there wholly out of curiosity. He went there because he wanted to get his son out of the cave.
I heard a lot of songs say, "Where you going, my son?" Now I know they're for real. Boy, you never stop to think how fast the years run, or the things they steal. Now it seems I always knew why I do the things I do and the things I never did. I do the things I do. Why I work my whole damn life so I could give a better life than the one my dad could give me. I give it to my kid.
You think about a piece of work. Even, let's say, Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. This beautiful work of art. But what if you had to create the Sistine Chapel 1,000 times a year? Don't you think that would dull even Michelangelo's mind?
See, it's not just the work. Somebody built the pyramids.
Pyramids, Sears Tower. These things didn't just happen. I don't care how little you did. You drive down a road and you say, I worked on this road.
If there's a bridge, you say, I worked on this bridge. I think that if a carpenter builds a cabin for poets, then the poets owe the carpenter a little plaque, just 3 or 4 lines on the wall.
Though we labor with our minds, this place we can relax in was built by someone who can work with his hands.
Picasso can point to a painting.
A writer can point to a book.
What can I point to?
Everybody should have something to point to.
You know what I want? I want to see a building. Say, the Sears Tower. On one side of that building, I want to see a foot-wide strip from top to bottom with all the names of everybody who's ever worked in or on that building. All the names. So that when a guy walked by, he could take his son and say,
See that
I was the one who didn't decide.
I was the one who drafted the plans. Every detail and every line. See that building.
I ran the crane that lifted the beams. I was the guy who worked on the wall. Look at those bricks are mine. Every detail and every line.
See that building. Look how my door hangs in the frame. See that building.
40 flights out, I scratched my
See that building. I'm on the staff. I work as a guard. I clean the floors and I clean good. People don't know my job is hard. See that building. 5 days a week I work at a desk. I do the posts. I handle the mail. I'm on the dot. I punch my card. See that window up by the ledge. Turn from the top. See that window. Count from the left. 1, 2, 3, stop. That's where I work. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be proud of. Look what I did. See what I've done. I did the job. I was the one. Everyone should have
offices run, the coffee is sold, the digging was done, the building was built for all eyes to see. The coffee is sold, the digging was done, the building was built for all eyes to see.